Town Manager Peter Souza. Our Chief of Police, Chief Melanson. Captain Andy Powers. Captain Heather Larock. Town Council Member Nushet Blackburn. Okay. Next, I'd like to welcome the Windsor High School Air Force Junior ROTC. Is now in their 8th year and has many students participating in this program under the direction of Major John Spear and Sergeant Michael Cross. The focus of this program is to develop students in the area of self-discipline, leadership, teamwork, physical fitness, and citizenship. The program consists of uniform wear 1 day a week, physical fitness, training bi-weekly, aerospace science, and leadership education. The Air Force ROTC mission is to develop citizens of character dedicated to serving their nation and community. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove any headgear for the presentation of the colors in our national anthem. As the Air Force Junior ROTC cadets bring the flags onto the stage under the charge of Color Guard Commander Cadet First Lieutenant Jesus Collins. I'd also like to welcome this morning Miss Lila Daly, who is entering 6th grade at Sage Park Middle School, and she is going to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of our dread?
Great job, Lila. Thank you for performing this morning. Okay. Now I'm going to call up the infamous Mayor Donald Trinks.
Nervous? You should be. It's my one chance. Although I've missed the last couple years. So settle in, I got a lot to say. Sorry for being late. I thought with last year, the Convocation, I thought this year was at Fenway Park, so I drove all the way up there. And of course, it wasn't there. So welcome home. I just want to give my usual, and if for the people who, and I realize that this is my 20th Convocation for Windsor High. But don't worry, my kids keep me very humble on election night, especially my eldest. Says, I don't get it, I just don't get it. But you'll never ever have to worry about me saying something behind your back. For instance, I'm leaving right after I speak because David's up on the agenda, David Fury, and I hear him twice a week, so I'm not staying for that. But you all, and just how many newbies do we have here? New to the town? Wow, welcome to Windsor. Welcome to Windsor. And by the way, I should have started with my usual good morning, professional educators for the town of Windsor, because that's what you all are. Regardless of what position you hold, you're a vital asset to our system. And just listening to the young lady here, man, we got some talent in this town. Holy cow, yeah, huh? So for the newbies, Windsor's a little bit unusual, right? Never know who you might have gone to school with, that you've grown up together with. Uh-huh. That's all right. There'll be Sally stories after 3 today. But you know, here you've got the police department represented on your opening day. You've got town council members here. You've got Board of Education, because we really, sincerely, firmly believe that we are all in this together. And whether it's board issues, council issues, police issues, you know, we're all working together to finalize that extraordinary product that this town has blessed us all with, and by your all good work. So the other one I want to ask is, who was here teaching during the height of COVID? Is that what it is, with a V? Yeah. Oh, bless you all. Because anybody here, like me, sick of hearing hybrid or unprecedented? How many years? But that was an extraordinary time. Congratulations, administration, and congratulations to the teachers that got us through this all. It could have been extremely, extremely catastrophic to our students. But you guys worked through it professionally, and again, the product is extraordinary. So I just want to say on behalf of the town council, thank you for having it in Windsor. It's a long drive to Boston in the morning, but I should have checked Sally's emails. We really, really appreciate what you do every day for the next 180 odd days, 184? I don't know. Mrs. T's retired now, so I can't keep track of that stuff. Having been a product of the school system, sorry, representing the second 50% of my class, 184th, woo! And so some people don't always grow up at the same speed. Some of us refuse to accept it and do it, but what you guys do, and I hope that you have the chance as your career develops here to look back and see the successes that you were part of creating, because there's going to be a lot of them. So again, the town council always stands ready to be there for you. We got your backs, and anything we can do, and collaboration with the Board of Ed, which we actually get along really well. A little unusual thing about Windsor. I mean, we really do. The board, the council, town administration, Mr. Souza, got Nichette Black-Burke from the council here. You know, we get along good because we really believe in you, and we believe in what you're going to bring to the town. So on behalf of the town council, I want to thank you all very much. Try to keep this excitement going for the next 180 odd days. I know you can do it. And I can't wait because in the middle of the show today, Dr. Hill is going to be singing America's Beautiful for us. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful school year.
You never know what he's going to say. Okay. Yeah, very true. He doesn't know until he's up. Okay. Next, I'd like to call up our Town of Windsor Town Manager, Mr. Peter Souza.
Good morning. Well, you guys only have to hear the mayor once or twice a year. I don't know what he's going to say any day of my life, so I exhale every time. So thank you very much for inviting me once again to the convocation. Last evening when I was thinking a little bit about some of my remarks, I'm saying, you folks have heard me for a lot of years. What can I say differently? And I've decided I don't need to say much differently. Much of the same things hold true as they did 18 years ago when I first stood before the convocation, is that you folks are great partners with the town of Windsor. You folks are shaping the next generation of not only Windsor citizens, but citizens of our great country. So what you do and how you influence those students each and every day is so important, not only for this current school year, but for so many decades to come. Our community is your laboratory, and I've said this often, but please try to work in our community into your curriculum if you can. We have thousands of businesses here in this town, nearly over 20,000 jobs. There's a great program that the Board of Education has started and will be implemented this fall, which is a Firefighter 1 program, a fire science program. That's fabulous. Fabulous to expose all of our young students to what's out there in this world in terms of a career, not just college. College is important, but college isn't for everyone. Maybe not immediately after they get out of school, but maybe 2 or 3 years afterwards. So anything you folks can do to partner with the community, I encourage it. Our staff stands ready to assist you. We can come into your classroom. You can come out to the community. There's so many different jobs for us to be able to help make you aware of. And so I am a little bit older than I was a few years ago. I have less hair, a few more extra pounds. And so what does that all mean? That means that folks like me are going to be retiring some point, I don't know, 5 years, 7 years, who knows, maybe next Monday. But the fact is that would be involuntary. But the fact is there's going to be great opportunities for the folks that you are now teaching and influencing in local government. And I would tell you, just like you know, there's no better job and satisfaction than working in local government, and that's what you folks do every day. So thank you very much. Have a kick-ass school year. Sorry. Guess that's where my head is. So, thank you very much.
Just to make sure everyone's aware, summer is over. So have a kick-ass school year for Mr. Souza. Okay, next I'd like to call up President Fury, but I just want to say a couple words first. Mr. Fury has been the president of the Windsor Board of Ed and a member of the Windsor Board of Ed since 2017, and he's been president since November 2021. He has been an active member of the Windsor community for a long time, serving as a member of the Windsor Democratic Town Council Committee and the Windsor Library Association. He has also been a longtime mentor for our team Paragon, the Windsor Robotics team. So without further ado, Mr. David Fury.
Well, thank you very much for introduction, Danielle. And unlike Mayor Trinks and Mr. Souza, this is my first convocation, so I did prepare some notes. And I hopefully won't say have a great summer. And thank you to all the Windsor Public School staff that are here today. I know I was talking to Nurse Julie, and she was talking about this is probably the biggest super spreader of the new year. So I bring greetings from the Board of Education. As we know, Mr. Panos is here. I know several other members were trying to make it, but weren't able to. And again, thank you to Ms. Black-Burke for being here. She was a former member of the Board of Education. She's an educator in Hartford, and she does have 2 students in the district, one here. So again, appreciate you being here. And as Mayor Trinks had said, and Mr. Souza had alluded to some degree too, the importance of the partnership that we have between the town council, and the Board of Education. We have a number of members, as Mr. Trinks, as he mentioned, was a graduate of Windsor High School, and as was Ms. Black-Burke. And Mr. Panos has been on the board, other than a 2-year gap, when he really realized all the things, he needed to tell me what we were doing wrong, so he came back, but over 20 years of dedication, a volunteer dedication, and his family, his children went through the Windsor Public Schools. And his son was a teacher here at one time at Windsor High School. Well, Convocation is the last formal welcomes of the year. I know there have been a number of activities, both formal and informal, to start the year. I know the new staff had a great day, both at Windsor High School and then ice cream at the Windsor Historical Society. Thank you to the Historical Society in town. I like the idea of popsicles with the principal. After hiring Miss Lee for Clover, she immediately, I think a couple days later, attended a baseball game where a number of Clover students were playing in a championship where they ended up coming in 3rd in the state of Connecticut. And I probably need to mention, too, that Miss Stangiulo's daughter was on that team, otherwise I'd be in trouble right away. And not only to mention somebody on in the school system, but Mr. Dobler on the town council, his daughter was also on that team. I know I'm going to get in trouble for those who I didn't mention, so I guess I have to just handle that. This day is always so inspiring, even though I've only been president the last year or so. My wife was a teacher, a longtime teacher in the district, and coming here and seeing the connections, seeing people who haven't seen each other in a long time, meeting new people, new staff, is always great. It's a great way to start the year. But to me, the pièce de résistance of the day is really hearing from our Educator of the Year and Para-Educator of the Year. And both Carrie Pannoni and Beth O'Shea both have deep connections to Windsor. They're Windsor people as well as Windsor educators. Their families grew up here. The O'Shea family goes way back, Beth's in-laws, to this community. Every year, Rotary International has a new inspirational theme created by the new incoming president. My father-in-law, Paul Sorbo, past superintendent of schools for Windsor Public Schools, was a lifetime member of Rotary. When he was district governor, the 91-92 theme was look beyond yourself. And I think that's so important that we do look beyond what we are doing, what's in our life, look out for others. The new Rotary president is Jennifer Jones, the first woman president of Rotary. She chose the theme of Imagine. She asked Rotary members to dream big and take action. She said, and I quote, "We all have dreams, but acting on them is a choice. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up each day knowing that we can make a difference. Let's all imagine how we can educate all of our students." And I think it's appropriate for all of us in the Windsor Public School community, the board, central office, and all in our schools. We need to take action and make a difference. However, success is truly a partnership. We need the same commitment from our students and families for the best educational experience. The board's job is not to run the schools, though Dr. Hill keeps reminding me of that. Our primary functions are creating policy, and there's sometimes some debate between Mr. Panos and Mr. Hill, Dr. Hill about that concept. But our primary functions, and I say primary, not only, are creating policy, formulating a budget, and supervising the superintendent. Although I am president, the board only acts formally as a group and in public. Our bylaws state that I preside over the meetings and get to vote on things, but that's not all there is. I own the responsibility of embracing and sustaining our mission, which is to develop the genius in every child and to develop lifelong learners, and to support the vision of the superintendent. And we do have a great board with commitment to this community. I know Vice President Lockhart was trying to be here today. I know he had an earlier commitment. Oh, he is. Thank you, Mr. Lockhart, for being here. He was also captain of the Wilson Fire Company here in town. In fact, almost gave his life to the town this summer in a fire. He is also vice president of the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education, and the next in line to be president. So he sees the importance of education here and educating students here, but educating students throughout Connecticut. Almost everybody has a great connection to Windsor. We have a number of Mr. Wollaston, Ms. Taylor, graduates of Windsor High School, children in the district. Mr. Dobler had been on the Board of Education. Now he's on Town Council. I mentioned Ms. Black-Burke, also on the Town Council. Lisa Bress, a longtime Windsor educator. So we really have a great partnership and friends on the Town Council. So when we have a budget and we explain what we've gone through, and we pass a budget on the board 9-0, that sends a message to the folks on the Town Council who get it and who will be there to support what's necessary. We still have to go to a referendum. That's the way this town works. But when they see we have an almost overwhelming support from the Board of Ed, from the Town Council, it makes that job a lot easier to be able to explain what we're trying to do. I know federal funds won't be available after this year. We've used federal funds wisely through the superintendent's office for one-time purchases, because the money won't be there, but also for social emotional learning. We've done a great job in this district, and the social emotional learning has to be not just for the students, it's got to be for the educators. We need our educators to be here in the building helping, and so we need to look after the mental health. And so please look after your colleagues as well as our responsibility on the board level and central office as well. Mr. Lockhart has done a great job with getting Windsor involved with the CABE organization. This year we just had training. Mr. Wollaston was there, and Dr. Hill was there, and we had actually a student talk about the student voices. She was one of two students, was Kruti Dorsandia, who's a superstar in Windsor High School and will be a senior. But again, people started talking to us afterwards. It's, wow, you got your superintendent here, you have students here. How do we do some Windsor stuff in our community? And that's a great reflection, not on just the board, but on everybody here. Everybody has got to step up. Everybody's got a responsibility here. And can't just be on the educators. We need our families to step up and take responsibility. And we need to hold our students accountable. Give them the supports they do need, but hold them accountable for what they are here for is for an education. In closing, it's a new year. It's a time to imagine, and it's a time to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fury, for those inspirational comments and remarks. Okay. In early spring, district staff have the opportunity to nominate their colleagues for Building Educator of the Year and Building Para-Educator of the Year and Building Staff Member of the Year. Those selected as the 2021-2022 Building Educator and Para-Educator of the Year are considered the district's finalists and may also select whether or not they will continue on to the state process. Before I call up Principal Gruber, I'm going to announce the names of our 2021-2022 Building Educators, Para-Educators, and Staff Members of the Year that were elected by school. So at LPW Central Office, Educator of the Year was Miss Erica Blake. Staff Person of the Year for Central Office, LPW, Miss Robin Daly, who's also the mom of the vocalist that sang the Star Spangled Banner. Okay, at Clover Street School, Educator of the Year, Carolyn Taylor. Para-Educator of the Year, Shukani Riley. Staff Person of the Year, Damian Morgan. At John F. Kennedy School, Educator of the Year, Kenneth Estelle. Para-Educator of the Year, Deanna this was a toughie. Teksholke. Oliver Ellsworth School, Educator of the Year, Christy Pascavis. Para-Educator of the Year, who you will see in a little bit, Beth O'Shea. And Staff Person of the Year for OE is Ariel Wagner. Pequannock Elementary School. And did everyone see Pequannock out there when you walked in? You just can't beat them. All right, Pequannock Elementary School. Educator of the Year, who you will also hear in a little bit, Carrie Canoni. Educator for Pequannock, Gay Gardner Wilson. Staff Person at Pequannock Elementary, Tracy Warland. Sage Park Middle School, Educator of the Year, Barbara Chinchosi. Para-Educator of the Year, Denise Robinson. Staff Person of the Year, Kirk Jackson. Windsor High School. Educator of the Year, Felicia Hamilton. Para-Educator, Eleanor McCarthy. And Staff Person of the Year, Paul Brocksterman. Okay, I would now like to call up Mr. Taryn Gruber, Principal of Oliver Ellsworth School, who will present the Para-Educator of the Year, Ms. Beth O'Shea.
All right. I don't know about you, but I am pumped. I am ready for this year. It is going to be a good one. I hope you're all excited. Let's get this going. All right. The person being recognized today is truly the salt of the earth, and she really is. Parents frequently comment on the impact she has had on their children. Parents knew she would go above and beyond to care for their precious children. She is selfless to the point of exhaustion, but pushes through for the little ones she works with. She is a joy to be around, and you can feel the love she has for each and every student. You have to love what you do as an educator. Love it. In the words of her students, remember they were 3 and 4 when working with Beth. When I needed help, she was always there for me. She handmade a chapstick holder so I could always find it. These are important things at that level. I love her to the moon and back. She taught me a lot of cool things. I like that Mrs. O'Shea taught me how to write my name, and I love doing art with her. She is an artist. She would jump on the trampoline with me. Mrs. O'Shea always sets up secret surprises for us. And you know kids will say what they really think, like it or not, especially at 3 and 4. Beth is an artist, does everything with an artist's flair. She adds creativity and beauty to any classroom she works in. Beth exemplifies putting personal hardship aside to do what is best for students every single day. She has a heart of pure gold. She is always thinking of others, whether it be students, families, or colleagues. The Windsor community is very fortunate to have Beth O'Shea. Lastly, if you care to thank her for her service, you will be able to pick her out in a crowd. She's the one wearing a winter parka, even given 85-degree weather. So thank you, Beth O'Shea. I love you, just like I love all of my staff. Come on. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. The introduction is extremely kind. Good morning, members of the Board of Education, Mayor Train, Mr. Sousa, and I introduce myself to the Chief of Police and his assistants over there this morning, because we live in a town. Sorry, I'm going off script here. We live in a town that has the most amazing police department and town employees and the educational system in the world. Our families for us this past summer. So thank you, Windsor. It's my honor to be here before you today. I enjoy being a paraeducator in the Windsor school system. I had the privilege of working with experienced, brilliant, caring educators who have guided me throughout my career to help. Early education has been my whole career, and I believe it is the stepping stone to a solid foundation for our students' academic futures. Preschool is their first experience in the world of education, and I want our students to know that they are each unique, that their quirky, funny, eccentric qualities are what makes them wonderful people. To help them begin to realize that they all have special attributes to embrace, because that's what makes them them. And together, they are fabulous. Over the last 7 years, I've had the honor of working with Caitlin Tinsley and the amazing preschool team at Oliver Ellsberg. I'm proud to be part of a team that embodies an early educational environment where we create a community within our classroom that extends beyond the student's home and family. As part of this team, we are helping our students to become good citizens, conduct themselves in a kind and respectful manner, and to be part of a school community of which we are proud. This will enhance their learning experience. Early education is its own special entity within the educational world, one where educators form the first bond with students. These youngest students are filled with a sense of how amazing the adventure of learning can be. We are there for the social, emotional, and academic beginning of our students' educational journey. It's where we don't want them doubting themselves, but rather having the confidence to know that anything is possible, to guide their passions for learning and to reach their own greatness. Yes, these are 3, 4, and 5-year-old students, but if we fill their dreams with endless possibilities, along with the belief that they can achieve them, we have hopefully lit their desire for education. So when they are asked, what do you want to be when you grow up, they begin to realize that whatever they are dreaming about is within their grasp. Paraeducators are the worker bees of education, quietly going about our work in a masterful and caring manner, completing some of the most difficult tasks in education. School systems cannot succeed without our profession, and we need an infrastructure that supports and respects our accomplishment. If this is achieved, the students will benefit and academic careers will be enriched. There are many different ways to accomplish this, but as a system, we need to be respectful of each other and recognize that each profession, no matter one's title, it is a valued entity. Early education is my passion and my story. Each para-educator has their own passion and story. We all love what we do for our students, and we appreciate being able to teach in the Windsor school system. So to all paraeducators, I thank you as a past parent in the Windsor school system who appreciated your dedication and love for my child. Thank you.
I'd now like to call up, and I'm calling him up by the way he likes to be called up, the proud principal of Poquonic School, Jay Mahalko.
All right, all right, all right. You guys ready for the year? I read green lights over the summer, so I've got a little Matthew McConaughey going on. I am so honored to be here today to introduce Carrie Canoni, or as the kids call her, Gigi. Whether she is greeting them in the morning, wearing a penguin costume, you did hear me right, wearing a penguin costume, or in the classroom or in the hallway, the students adore her. She often has time getting down the hallway, in fact, because so many kids are attached to her. When I think of Carrie, I think of the words of a wise philosopher and motivational speaker, and that is Figment from Journey into the Imagination at Epcot. One little spark of inspiration is all it takes for all creation. A dream can be a dream come true with that little spark from me and you. And that is Carrie Canoni. She lights that spark in our staff and our students and our families, and we all better for knowing her. Ladies and gentlemen, Windsor Public Schools Educator of the Year, Carrie Canoni!
have to take a selfie. If I can figure out how to use my new phone, this is for my parents up in Canada. Everybody wave. I am thrilled to be here with you all today. As we entered into the 2021-22 school year, I was feeling overwhelmed, like many of us were. Our goal was to close the gap in learning and strengthen our students' social, emotional well-being that the pandemic had created. I will be honest, I just wasn't sure if I had it in me to be a part of the change that was needed to create a normal school year in a year that was anything but normal. We had so much to accomplish. We needed to give our students opportunities to interact with each other again and to engage in deeper conversations, to instill confidence in them so that they can learn independently and to reignite the spark of in-person learning. What a daunting task. But then slowly, we reintroduced best in-person practices back into the classrooms and realized the joy of being back at school, the joy of being with friends, and the joy of learning. As we planned for upcoming math and science units, our focus was on student engagement, which meant bringing back tools and manipulatives that students had not utilized in a while because of safety issues due to the pandemic. Reimagining rituals and routines was beginning to take shape, no pun intended. Interactive games like Buzz were reintroduced to get children thinking about math as part of the warm-up and learning important life skills of taking turns and cheering on classmates when they won. We saw more student discourse as they were engaged in rich conversations about math. Small groups of students were at the teachers' tables in differentiated lessons, and math workstations in partnerships or independent practice was happening. It was exciting to see the collaboration. We were able to go on field trips. It was so much fun. That greatly enhanced our science curriculum. We took our students to the Children's Museum in West Hartford and Northwest Park. As we traveled through Hartford to the Children's Museum in West Hartford, students were simply amazed, yelling oohs and ahs as we went under the bridge in Hartford with all the lights. For many students, that was the first time they were on a school bus, and all that excitement happened before we even got to the museum. So much joy. Watching our young scientists interact with tools and materials in a natural setting was invigorating. These rich, engaging experiences scaffolded the learning experience for our students to better understand math and science concepts. Our school year was beginning to feel like the ones we experienced before the pandemic, but better. We were adapting to our current situations and making it our new normal. It felt wonderful, and I felt renewed. As educators, we thrive on experiencing the joy of learning, especially through our students, and it is important for us to remember that we only get this one moment in time to provide equitable learning experiences for all of our students. As I look back and reflect upon this past year, I am so grateful to have had my joy renewed. I can't wait to meet the students on Monday when they get off the bus. But before I go, we're going to make a little noise. I would like to say how grateful I am for the support and many opportunities that I and my family have experienced in the town of Windsor and Windsor Public Schools. Thank you to all of our distinguished guests for your dedication in making the town of Windsor and Windsor Public Schools the place to be and a wonderful place to raise a family. Please stand, our distinguished guests, again and be recognized. Your board members, thank you for all you do. Well, I started my career at Clover Street School. I felt so supported by everyone there, so much so that I returned a second time. My heart will always belong to Clover. The staff at Clover Street School, please stand up and make some noise. Thank you for all you do. In between the Clover time, I was welcomed at JFK, where I spent a few years teaching second grade. I loved my time at JFK. The staff at JFK, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for all that you do. Well, then I stayed home a few years to raise my children, but they continued their journey at Windsor Public Schools by starting out at Wallaroos at Roger Wolcott, and then they hopped on over to Oliver Ellsworth, where they helped shape their young minds. The staff at Oliver Ellsworth, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you for all that you do. Then my children went off to Sage Park. You are special people. Helping our young adolescents grow and learn. The staff at Sage Park, please stand up and be recognized. Then my children went off to Windsor Public Schools. Thank you for preparing them for college and beyond. And a special shout out to the math department, who has welcomed my daughter Lauren back to Windsor High as a teacher and making her first year's of teaching so rewarding and joyful. The staff at Windsor High, please stand up and be recognized. Well, I've been here a long time, and over the years, I spent a lot of time at LP, working on various curriculums with amazing instructional coaches, especially my incredible STEM team. I could not do this job without you. Thank you to the staff at LP for your vision and leadership, and for patiently helping me with all of my tech tickets all over the years. The staff at LP and the instructional coaches and beyond, please stand and let's recognize them for all that you do. Thank you. Okay, and finally, the last 10 years, I've called Pequannock School my home. My Pequannock family, you inspire me daily and bring me so much joy. I am grateful for each and every one of you. The staff at Pequannock School, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for all that you do. We are Windsor. Let's have an amazing year. Thank you.
Said LP. Did everyone hear that? That was great. Carrie, that was a great speech. Thank you so much for all those inspiring words. You got me psyched, that's for sure. Okay, next, I'd like to call up the presenter from Urban Assembly, Miss Eliza Sherrera. My apologies, Alyssa.
Good morning, everyone. I have not woken up this early. I cannot tell you how long. I certainly miss teaching, but I don't miss that. I am Alyssa Schreier. I am one of the program managers at Urban Assembly, and for our And people from across the country and across the world attended. So we had folks from California, we had someone from Norway, and they came excited to learn about how to really make this work. And what they saw during the Windsor showcase helps guide them to move forward, because seeing is believing. I know as a teacher, I never implemented something new until I really thought it was going to work. And I only really thought it was going to work when I saw it in action. And that's really what we're trying to do here. We want to be leaders in this work, and we're taking steps to doing that. Now, our final showcase took place just a few months ago, maybe weeks ago, just happened. Brandon Frame and Dr. Mallory headed up to Harvard, and they were able to present at the Harvard SEL Summer Institute to share best practices. And I know that was well received, because people paid thousands of dollars to attend that. Like, I tried to go, and I was like, no way, Jose. So it was high-profile stuff. And it's amazing to see the work that you're all doing here. I am blown away. I am so excited to continue this work this year. But before we do, there's a couple people I want to recognize. Without a shadow of a doubt, none of this could happen without the amazing teachers and staff members in this district. I want to be the first to say that I am really, really grateful on behalf of your students and families for all of the hard work you have put into rolling out all of the SEL programming that you have. It is not easy, but my firm belief is strong SEL is great teaching and learning. And from what I've heard, there are a lot of really great teachers here. So I know that this year is only going to take this to the next level. So, with that, I am very proud, very excited, very honored to be here to present this award. I'm going to have Dr. Mallory come up. He is going to receive it, but he is receiving it for each and every one of you who has put your heart and soul into making this year a success and to ensuring that all of your students have the social and emotional supports that they need so that they're building skills to be successful in school, in the community, and in the world. Thank you.
Awesome. So I just quickly want to say definitely thank you to the leadership and the partnership of Urban Assembly. But as Alyssa mentioned, this is a reflection of all of you. All of the hard work, the dedication, the sacrifice, the intentional programming, right? The seeds that you all have been planting every single day in the hearts and minds of our young people, right? Those seeds outlive you, outproduce you, and they're transforming the next generation of students, Windsor students, that's going to go out into the world and transform the society that we all love and want to see thrive for future generations. So quickly, I just want to say, we're the SEL squad at the SEL Evangelists. Can you all just stand up really quick? I appreciate all of the hard work, the dedication, the collaboration with educators and teams. You all know how I feel about you substantially, so thank you all. We're looking forward to turning the heat up. To everyone, every teacher or staff member that participated in our documentary last year, can you stand up? Thank you so much. As Alyssa said, it brought me, last year when I was invited and I spoke and introduced myself to you all, I said I was humbled to be welcome into your town, to be welcome into this amazing district. And when we were at Harvard University on August 5th and had educators and superintendents and people from across the country, from Seattle, from Boise, Idaho, Chicago, from Miami, coming up to me and said, that documentary changed my life. The words of the educators, the way that they're integrating SEL, the way that they're being thoughtful, the way that they're being intentional, the way that they're grooming and shaping the hearts and minds. If only we could do that in our district. So I definitely want to say thank you all. We're going to have an incredible, incredible school year. And the last thing that I will be reaching out to educators, I was just emailed by the state to say, how can we do a video series to where we capture 5 to 10 minutes of SEL in motion, and they want to use that as training material for the state. So I'll be sending it out to the educators who would love to open up your class for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be reaching out soon. Thank you.
You forgot your plaque. I'll leave it over here. All right, congratulations, Dr. Hill and Dr. Michael Mallory. We started this work last year. We're continuing it this year and beyond. I'm going now to introduce the new staff to Windsor Public Schools. I'd like to ask you, please hold your clap till each school I announce all the names, just so we are not here till noon. Okay, at Clover Street School, Mr. Thomas Dugray, special ed teacher. Mrs. Listening ears, no clapping till I'm done at the school. That's what I was told actually at the Historical Society, because I didn't follow the rules either. Okay, let's try this again. Clover Street School, Mr. Thomas Dugray, special ed teacher. Mrs. Trisha Lee, principal of Clover Elementary School. Mr. Robert Metz, psychologist. Ms. Barbie Nadell Cristofaro, social worker. And Melanie Talbot, special ed teacher. Next up, JFK. Abby Beckoff, special ed teacher. Preston Bell, ELA teacher. Eliza Corcoran, classroom teacher. Kelly Everett, classroom teacher. Hannah Kingsley, classroom teacher. Caitlin McGuire, special ed teacher. Tara Menendez, special ed teacher. Melissa Pierce, chief psychologist. And Jocelyn Stout, classroom teacher. Next up, Oliver Ellsworth. Suzanne Allen, kindergarten teacher. Stephanie Dominez, special ed teacher. Jennifer McGoldrick, classroom teacher. Elizabeth Petritis, art teacher. Tanya Heacock, kindergarten teacher. Haley Johnson, special ed teacher. And Rosanna Wilson, school psychologist. Pequannock School, they have one. Ashley Nordone, speech and language clinician. Sage Park Middle School. Sierra Ali, world language teacher. Tammy Jackson Bolden, special ed teacher. Florence Tucker Bindloss, math teacher. Jesus Cortez, math interventionist. Chelsea Achman, social studies teacher. Ray Uhan, special ed teacher. Kayla McLean, English teacher. Mohammed Shihab, special ed teacher. Ashley Taylor Love Kalas, French teacher. Patrick Yeeman, English teacher. Terry Williams, math teacher. Okay, I got a long list now for the high school. All good, all good. So some of the, I should have said this originally, some of the individuals that I am naming are not on the brochure. That's because we are still hiring, and I probably am still hiring today and tomorrow. So if you hear the name, that's because they were hired after the brochure was made. Okay, first up, Dr. Faisal Adel Haiti, automotive teacher. I know. Daisha Braham, social studies teacher. Brian Berghoff, English teacher. Rebecca Burke, world language teacher. Allison Butler, special ed teacher. Eric Eisner, manufacturing teacher. Erica Fangiulo, assistant principal. Yasmin Forte, art teacher. Christine Fracas, social studies teacher. Fracasco, excuse me. Megan Gill, English teacher. Jasmine Hardrick, school counselor. Nicole Jones, art and humanities supervisor. She's back with us. Christopher Loero, assistant principal. Megan Maines, new title, been here forever, STEM supervisor. Steve Marinelli, social studies teacher. Julie Martin, special ed teacher. Kimberly Pandini, special ed teacher. Sarah Pierce. My thing says Pierce. No. Just Pierce. Okay, that's easy. I was making it more difficult. Sarah Pierce, reading teacher. Jeremy Sorto, science teacher. And Derry Thomas, assistant principal. And at district level, district-wide, Michelle Grinless, BCBA. Okay, before I turn the program over to Dr. Hill, I just want to make a few announcements so everyone doesn't get up right after. After the completion of this year's convocation, all staff members are to report to their schools for lunch. And all paraprofessionals, please go to the gym across the way. They have a union meeting for a few minutes. And also, high school staff, please stay in the auditorium just for a few minutes. I want to thank Windsor High School Air Force ROTC, Miss Lila Daly for her beautiful performance, and for creating our beautiful program today, Fuda, who teaches graphic design at Sage Park Middle School. I know Dr. Hill will also say this, but I'd be remiss if I didn't also. Sally Brown, thank you for putting all this together. You're really, truly running the district, keeping us all in line. Okay, I'd like to now bring to you Dr. Hill, Superintendent of Schools.
So I'm not going to stand here at the podium. I asked for a lavalier because I like to move around. And I like to recognize, I see a board member in the back. Is that Mr. Nathan Wollaston back there? Let's give a round of applause. Come on down front. There's a seat right here. He's looking all good. He probably got one of them slim cut suits on. I tell him I'm jealous because I can't get in those suits. I look at them. They look really nice. So I'm waiting for that classic slim cut. That's what I'm waiting for. Athletic, that's what it is. So I want to say good morning, welcome. Everyone has said so many things today, and I'm just like listening. For those who don't know me, I'm going to introduce myself to you today. That's one of the good things. I don't write speeches. I just pray about it. And what God gives me, that's what I do. That's all I pray about. A whole lot. But I pray. I'm talking to God all the time. So for today, I literally have been praying for about a month because I didn't know what to say and how to say it. Today is meant to be a day of inspiration and excitement for teachers when they come back. It is not meant to be a day to throw a dad on the wall and say, look what we did, look at this. And I didn't want to do that. Those who know me, you already know how I feel, you know how I move, how I roll, where I want to go. Those of you who don't, I'm going to introduce myself so now you'll understand a little bit of the crazy. Okay, so you know where I come from. I want to thank Sally Brown, again, yes, and all of those, and everyone who helped support to put this program together. Too often, I think Beth said it best, we kind of overlook people by position. Once I tell you more about myself, you know I never do that. I don't really care what your position is. Everyone's important, you're on this team, you're needed, and you're necessary. So thank you guys very much. Beth did a great job speaking. I felt like a teacher, even though she's not my student. I love public speaking. I've been forced to do it since I was like 5. So I'm very comfortable in front of the crowd. I saw Beth get a little skittish. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not sorry. You're speaking. You're the one that done it. And she did her thing. So I was very proud of that. And I was laughing because I said to myself, after Tana's introduction, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen her without the party. So it was nice to see her getting a speech without a party. And Carrie Canary, what can I say? I just love Carrie. I love Canada. So she knows that. And I'm like, it's just her spirit is infectious. So I told the board members if they're welcome to leave, they can stay. It doesn't matter. Because I might go from the parental to the Pentecostal all at the same time. So if I say something that moves you, you can say amen. That's the Black church culture. But actually, I've been to mixed churches, they say amen too. So say amen. All right? Because that's what's going to happen. Because I want us to leave here today understanding that we're on a mission to really do something different. SEL, you've heard about some of the work that we've done is being recognized. We have not generated all the work. We are moving, but we have not reached that destination yet. And that is how I operate. I like putting lofty goals in front of myself and pursuing them. I am not one who is happy with mediocrity. I am not one who is happy with the status quo. And I never want to just fit in no matter where I go or who I'm with. So that's part of who I am. So let me introduce you to Terrell M. Hill. Not Dr. Hill, Terrell Hill. That's my name from birth. 53 years. September 13th, you write it down. It's not 54 years. 54 years. I'm Terrell. I go home to the barbershop in Springfield every other Thursday, 5 o'clock, because I like being Terrell. In church, they do say Dr. Hill, but I like being Terrell. And Terrell has a story, and there's a reason why Terrell is standing here in front of me today, and there's a reason why Terrell speaks and acts the way that he does. Starting here on the left side, my left, and this way, look at speaker left. That's my grandfather. So I'll first say this. Anyone's ever heard me speak before, you already know that my mom, Gail Hill, is my hero, but I'm not talking about mom today, right? Mom sits on that pedestal, and she is who she is. But a lot of people don't know that a big driver and a big reason for me being who I am is my grandfather. That's her dad, Jimmy Mayweather. That's my family in Mayweather. I've never met the boxers, but I know it's my family. He was educated till he was about 7, 8 years old in Georgia. And then he was sent to a sharecropping farm. where he saved and he picked cotton and did whatever else on that plantation that it was. It's not a CRT lesson, this is life. And he ran away at 16 from the sheriff department to Washington, D.C. So he never let me get past third grade. All my life, he called me Sherelle. Please don't ask me why. I have no idea. I don't know. He died when I was 42. I don't know why he called me Sherelle, but he did. And someone asked me recently, did you ever correct him? He's a little older there, but my grandfather's always been pretty, yeah, I'm correct him. I'm just Sherelle. And I know how I feel about my name, right? So he's the only person in my life he ain't incorrect. It was Sherelle. But he taught me the reality and the benefit of hard work. You're going to do it, you're going to do it right. If you're going to do it right, you're going to do it well. If you're going to do it well, you're going to do it better than the next person. He taught me that. No degrees, no high school diploma. Son, if you're going to do it, then do it. Otherwise, get out of the way. So some of y'all have seen that and felt that, heard that from me. I'm not apologizing for that. That's just what it is. If you're going to do it, do it. Do it well. If you're not, then move. I got some rap songs going through my head right now. Move. Get out the way. Over here, on the far right. A few years back, we had a speech. It was about, this is my why. So these are my 3 daughters. Kaya, Imani, stand up, Imani. And Adia, stand up. You're not feel any of that. So, these are my daughters. And when I learned from my grandfather, right, everything's about my children. This is my why. I don't play when it comes to my kids. I don't play with them. They know it. I'm very serious. I expect the best out of them. And they know I'm never happy. Well, I'm just never going to be happy. But I'm not happy until they accomplish more and more and more. And that's also what drives me, because I'm never letting the bar rest. My oldest, she got it 1 year. A couple years back, she said, I get it, Dad. You keep raising the bar. And she said, you're never going to let us catch you. Not while I'm breathing. So that means you keep grinding, because we call him Daddy. Daddy said, you work hard. You work hard. In the middle, let me say what everyone thinks. I don't play about my kids. You understand what that means? I ain't trying to say propaganda. I don't play about my children. I'm serious about my girls. Y'all understand it, right? It's always best for you to meet Mama Bear than me when it comes to my babies. Because we have to meet, it's not Dr. Hill, it's Terrell. Up here is my absolute heart now. That is my granddaughter. That is Zoe Thomas. She thinks she is grown. She is 4, she'll be 5 September 8th. That was her first day going to preschool, and I know the picture's not really clear. I didn't think it would show up, but it's like, and I'm going to be, she wants to be a doctor. So I hope she becomes a doctor. If she doesn't, she can become something else. But my point is, in the focus of today, whoever is educating her outside of my daughter's home, my home, and the rest of our family's home, they're going to help her on her journey to being whatever it is she wants to be. Or they're going to answer to me. And yes, my daughter bought her home in East Hartford this spring. I already called the superintendent personally. My granddaughter, Zoe Thomas, Nate, is in your district. Need I say more? He texts back, I got you, brother. You know, I'm serious about my kids. Y'all understand the passion? Amen. Now let me show you the other part of why I am and why I do what I do. This lady right here. I've given so many speeches around the country and talked about her. So I said, I need to really introduce myself to people because they don't really understand why I am who I am. I went in my yearbook, my wife's coming home, see my kids are taking the yearbook. Why are you looking at your yearbook? I'm doing something. Leave me alone. The power you possess. The you is every single one of you in this room, in the district. You possess. If you thought coming in this morning is another year, another Danish, another coffee, another day, kick it off, another t-shirt, another clap party, that's nice, but that's not what this is about. I'm here to wake you up, wake your soul up. You have a lot of power, a lot of power. And I want you to unleash that power this year because I'm going to be on you to pull it out of you. So Dr. Hill, Terrell is not here to kill you when I'm on you. That is not what I want to do. There's no benefit to that. I'm here to get the best out of you, the absolute best. Just like you're going to get the best out of my kids in the district. So Miss Rita Astorino, let me tell you a quick story about this lady, and I wrote that 1986, High School of Commerce, Springfield, Mass. I graduated, and I wrote that because she was my favorite teacher, by far. Why? No, she didn't hand out lollipops. She wasn't the friendly, nicely nice person. She didn't hug you every day, Mr. Pendles. You know why she was my favorite teacher? Because she was following the same traits as my grandfather. She was hardcore. She came up to me one day at the end of 10th grade, and she saw me in the hallway. I knew she was, but I hadn't had her yet, because she was a senior teacher that our class was set up, chemistry. And she said, come here. My name until 10th grade was Mayweather. By the way, my stepfather adopted us legally halfway through 10th grade. So all my life, my friends in Springfield will know me as Terrell Mayweather. And she said, come here, Mr. Mayweather. Yes, Miss Astorino? She says, you think you're hot stuff. I said, well, you know. I just got to be, I've never really lacked confidence. I've seen people with that. I don't really know that thing. But, and I said, I think I am. Why? She said, you think you're smart? I am smart. I said, I'm taking all the top classes. Nothing's hard. This is easy. I know I'm going to college. I know I'm going to earn a PhD. What else you got? Isn't that the highest degree on the planet? Yeah. What else you got for me? The world is nothing. She says, so, why aren't you taking my chemistry class? I said, well, I am going to take it in my senior year. She said, oh, why? I said, because that's how they have it laid out. She said, so, that's how teachers talk then. You guys be careful now, it's 2022. She said, so you're just a good little obedient Negro. Okay, you got my attention now. Not because she said Negro, I'm not the super sensitive kid. Like, I'm not 2022, I'm 86. So, what you trying to say? It's a little thing too. I'm just saying, I can see her now. If you're just gonna follow a path that the world lays out, you're a good little Negro, then you do that. I said, I don't good little Negro. So what are you saying? She said, well, then take my class now. See what you got. I went right downstairs to the counseling department. I want to be in Miss Astorino's chemistry class. Sure, it's good to see. I want to take the class now. Is there a policy, a law, or regulation? Anything that says I can't take that class now? Do I need to call my mother, Detective Hood? No. I was in her class the next day. Kicked my butt. Not some beautiful senior girls, but it kicked my butt. Other than that. So what I learned from her, and I've always given her credit, everywhere I've spoken, is that most people will take the path laid out before them. It's easy. But the real dynamic people, the world changers, the real leaders, the people who are going to actually be remembered the day after they die, are the people who make a path. I never look at a rule, I never look at a law, a policy, or anything and go, well, we're stuck. I'm always going to try to find a way, not to break the law, but to find out where there's a loophole. Do I have to do it this way? And what I'm telling you, I need you to do, is you don't have to do teaching the way people say you should do teaching. Come in every day, line up your desk. All right, class, sit down, the bell rang, quiet, listen up. It's on the board, copy this down. Friday, repeat after me. Monday, we start all over again. Yes. You need to find a way, after you leave here today, to spark a fire in your students. I'm not giving you a pump it up speech. I'm literally giving you all the things I said I wasn't going to show with data. I'm giving you your charge for the year. I need some Rita Astorinos to be birthed in Windsor Public Schools. Someone who can change the trajectory of this good little Negro walking on the hallway, so that I have now heard people say to me in the Army, because we both were in the Army in Germany. In Germany, they and told me, you're not gonna change the rules, Bill. What are you, just a E4, and the Army's been this way for 250 years, and who do you think you are to change it? This is the way we do it, this is the way we always gonna do it. And I said, not while I'm here. And guess what? It changed while I was there. I got actually a competition medal for it. But I didn't care about the medal. I'm not going anywhere to fit in. I never went to a party to just be in the party. I went to the party and set it off. Right? I never dated anyone to be the guy that can talk about years later, that's one more guy I dated. I wanted to mess you up so there was no one else you would ever date without saying every day when I went to class, I always think like, who's the smartest? Who's the smartest in the room? I would do this, who's the smartest? In college, I came out of the Army, went to college in West State, I'd be like, why you sitting in the front? You don't even look like you want to learn. Do a move. You move. I sat in the front. I'm the one told professors, don't pull up with yellow notes, looking like parchment paper. You better teach me something new. I'm the one in grad school at UMass Amherst. I read books beyond the books they told us to read and came back to the professor, yo, that book is pretty good for 10 years ago. You should check this one out. Came out last year. I got courses changed, courses removed from a doctorate program. I'm not saying it to blow me up. I'm saying it because this teacher set me on that path. Why look at the world as it is and say, this is as good as it gets? Why look at your students and say, this is as good as it gets? Why not find something amazing about that student by pushing them and reaching into them and grabbing something from their soul that changes the trajectory of their life? That's what I want you to do. That's your charge. When I come in your room, come in your office, you see me, I'm gonna say, what's up? I ain't asking you the weather. What's up? Are you moving my kids? Are you moving Windsor? I've already told the superintendents in the state, I want to be number one district in the state. Most of the superintendents know me. Most of them know me, so they know I ain't just talking. That's really what I want to do. That's who I am. Because Ms. Astorino said, you can just be a good little Negro or you can charge your own course. And so, I don't even know if she really knew that other than just getting up and rolling in her chemistry class, but she changed everything for me. She changed the game for me. The world never looked the same because of a teacher. And that's what you should be to your students. Thank you. I have a little video, because I don't want to leave you all stiff, and we got some people like, oh God! You people like, I'm quitting today. Don't quit. All right? This right here cracks me up. Because Dr. Hill can talk all smooth to you, make you feel good this morning, and then next week, well, we'll give it a week, 2 weeks from now, some kid will be kicking you behind in class, you know it, right? This is real. So I just want you to be able to laugh about it. And so I just play there?
The next.
Which one?
Same one where you change the slide? Next.
Okay.
Yep.
Come in. Now.
Well, you in timeout.
My breakfast came off.
I'll put it back on. You in timeout.
There's no excuse.
Don't say that. You're supposed to be back in timeout. I didn't say get out. You in jail in timeout.
Well, until you listen to the news.
You sit right in timeout, little bad little girl.
Let me tell you something.
No.
I was in here, I will surely take a day off. And then a day off from these kids. I'm just done with you. Oh, let me tell you something. This is not moving.
You gonna be in timeout?
Oh.
That's why you in timeout right now.
I think so.
I think so.
Well, when I get up out of town and go to bed, I will be glad to go home and enjoy the rest of my life. Grateful because all of you.
some of y'all gonna be saying the same thing, right? But I do. I quit. I'm waiting all of you years. Right? So when you run into this kid, I still need you to love him. I would bust out laughing. My wife said, you know you need to do something like that. I said, baby, it's 2022. Things have changed. But we don't run into these kids. And you still need to love them. And you still need to change the trajectory of her life because we don't need her taking a day off from everybody at 3. She still got a lot of ABCs. Seriously, from my heart, love you guys. Let's do this. Let's get this win. It is still game on. All right, dude.